Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports. We've got a line of things to discuss in detail and we'll be telling you them in our top stories. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, it is a momentous occasion because there are times when you need to celebrate these things and also honor these people who have made truly a mark in Pakistan cricket. And I think these people can be called the founding fathers of cricket in Pakistan. Today marks the birth anniversary of Abdul Hafiz Kardar Saab, and there was a splendid wish from the Pakistan Cricket Board as well, from us here at Sports Extra, indeed from the entire team of Sports Extra and PTV World in general as well. It is, of course, like I said, these are things that really matter because the role of Abdul Hafiz Kardar is very important for Pakistan cricket, to a point, being the first captain of the Pakistan cricket team, going on to captaining Pakistan in the country's first ever 23 test matches from 1952 till 1958, then leading them to wins over India, England, New Zealand, Australia and the West Indies. Then, of course, a Hall of Famer who served as the president of then the Board of Control for Cricket Pakistan, BCCP as it was known, from 1972 to 77. So I think, it's a monumentous occasion, like I said. He was a fierce competitor on and off the field. His political role as well for Pakistan Cricket Board and internationally, the stature of Pakistan cricket to be established amongst the Committee of Nations. I think all of us should always remember Abdul Hafiz Kardar Saab in very high esteem and should be proud of his legacy, and of course that legacy is something that will always live on. So that is something to, of course, celebrate and remember, and I thought it was a good note that today we start the show with this particular thing. Like I said, that these need to be celebrated and honored. So I thought it was the right justice that we honor Abdul Hafiz Kardar Saab on his birth anniversary. Then we move on to the Under-19 World Cup, where Pakistan women's team is facing the English women's team. English women's team after 5 overs is 35 for 2. Action live on PTV Sports HD. You can catch all the action uninterrupted there as well. And of course, we'll keep updating you with the latest of scores as well. That was just a cover drive through the covers for 4. But so far, I think the fielding's been phenomenal. We just saw the second catch being taken and it was a phenomenal one, although it was a loose delivery. But courtesy of that, I think, Rousey shot, the wicket came to Pakistan. So I think a good chance for Pakistan if they win this one. It's going to be very, very interesting. And I was just talking to my guest that these young girls are so talented that, on one end you see the seniority of the national side, and then of course you see how these girls are living up to expectations. I think they've got a bright future ahead. Elsewhere in the World Cup, Rwanda beat Zimbabwe. That was another big game. Pakistan had already beaten Rwanda in their first game. So Pakistan, if they win this one, of course, have a sure shot of qualifying to the next stage of the Under-19 World Cup. But so far, so good, 35 for 2. In their first match against Rwanda, they also bowled first and chased the target down with relative ease. So if they can keep their nerves, I think these girls really have a fighting chance to chase this target down. So we'll be discussing that and giving you the update on the live scores as well. Then we move on to some interesting things happening at the seniority level of Pakistan Cricket Board, where there are a bunch of options now. It's almost like a trivia that's happening. Who is going to become Pakistan's next head coach? Andy Flower has refused to become a candidate. He said that I'm enjoying franchise cricket at the moment. There were rumors that the likes of 2 to 3 other people have also refused. Tom Moody's out of the list. I don't have confirmed news yet, but there is a rumor circling that even Justin Langer has refused to join in the role. And then, of course, there are still looking for options because the idea, I think, is clear. They don't want to stick with a domestic coach but go towards a foreign coach. That's what they're hoping for. But so far, all the names that were being discussed throughout social media and Pakistani media, of course, these were not confirmed. All of them have refused. That's what unconfirmed news is up till now. But certain names who are confirmed to have refused the role include Andy Flower and Tom Moody. So that's something that we already know. So we'll discuss this debate, where are things going, because World Cup is just around the corner, and if this thing is not settling now, then we've got very, very less time to talk about this. So continuing the discussion and introducing our guest in studios. First of all, we've been joined by sports expert, cricket on the table today, Rizwan Haider. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed.
Great to have you on the show. We've also been joined by cricket commentator, broadcaster, presenter and sports expert, particularly cricket, at Sports Extra as well, Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm perfect. Thank you, Ahmed. How about yourself?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Great to have you on the show. We've also been joined by senior sports journalist, Syed Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum salam, Ahmed. I'm fine. What about you?
Alhamdulillah, sir, all well here. First of all, I think, like I said in my introduction, I thought it was justice that we start off with a wish to celebrate Abdul Hafiz Kardar Saab. As a senior sports journalist, sir, how would you like to comment on his mark on Pakistan cricket and world cricket all over as the first captain of our Pakistan team?
Exactly. He was a marvelous person. I count him as a father figure of the Pakistan cricket. In this era, when he was existing, the cricket was not so common and normal like today. Everyone is playing today, but that time cricket was expensive and it was not in the common situation. But Carter, he has introduced cricket on the common level. And what really he has done well, that he has learned too much things in England when he was in England studying there, because he has played first Test match for the India, and he has gone with the Indian team there, and then he has stayed there and he's played for the Warwickshire. And they are very interesting thing that he has got married with the daughter of the chairman of Warwickshire County. So I think he was a marvelous personality. He has met some changes in the Pakistan cricket also when he was the president of Pakistan Cricket Board, and he has got also differences with the senior players that time with Pakistan superstars. But I think he was the person who could change more in Pakistan cricket if he can be more the president of Pakistan cricket. But unfortunately, in 1977, when the politic was interfering the Pakistan cricket, then he has resigned and he has gone to the home. But today, if we are remembering Abdul Hafiz Kardar, we should tribute him that he was the father figure of the Pakistan cricket, and is still his roots. They are existing in our cricket system, and we are enjoying the cricket. We should be thankful to the Abdul Hafiz Kardar.
Truly, Rizwan, there are personalities in Pakistan cricket. I know we tend to not look at history much. We're too much obsessed with the current developments that are happening, and one should be. But then again, we always teach our children that it's important to remember your history and honor it. People like Majid Khan, Abdul Qadir Saab, Intikhab Alam Saab, and then of course, if you talk about the leadership, the pioneer, somebody who was a winner, a true representative of Pakistan cricket and Pakistan as an ambassador all over the world, the first ever captain, Abdul Hafiz Kardar Saab.
Absolutely, Ahmed, you're absolutely right. Legends are there, because of the fact that what they have done for Pakistan. He's one of the few cricketers who started off leading. He just played 3 Test matches for India and then came to Pakistan and started straight away. He got struck into the leadership role. And you have to remember that Pakistan won against every Test nation at the time that was playing, other than South Africa, because we didn't get to meet them because of the apartheid or whatever reasons. Sri Lanka wasn't playing at that time. But Pakistan went on to beat each and every Test match. You can remember the game at Lords where Pakistan beat England, and that was just a second Test match or third Test match for Pakistan. So, and then you look at how long New Zealand took to record their first win, how long Sri Lanka and Bangladesh took to record their first wins, and that if you look at the bigger picture, you realize that how important Kardar was. And even though he was not a great batsman, if you look at his record, it's about 23 average, but his ability to lead the team and to gel all of them together and make it into a winning combination, he knew how to rotate the bowlers. He was very, very good at that. And he had a bit of a dictatorial side to him as well, but that was needed in the very beginning.
Yeah, that era I think demanded that you need to have somebody as a strong character.
Exactly.
Yeah, to present yourself at the Committee of Nations. Asif, it is because of people like Kardar Saab that Pakistan's image established in the world of cricket, what we enjoy today as a Pakistan cricket team, is because of that very reason. Because had there not been those wins in those first 26 Test matches, probably Pakistan would have been regarded as any minnow team in the world.
Yes, absolutely right. An icon for not only for the Pakistan cricket, but the entire world respects him. Why? Because his personality, he remained diplomat as well, and then he was the food minister. He was a politician as well. So he started his career from the Islamia College, a famous college from the Lahore, and then went to Oxford, and such things. When he came back, he started his career with an Indian team. Of course, that was the that was the subcontinent first. So he played, as Rizwan said, 3 Tests and then moved to Pakistan, of course, and he remained very close to Muhammad Ali Jinnah as well. So that's why his personality was such an amazing personality, And when he led Pakistan, as Rizwan said that earlier, that was an easy time for Pakistan. You know, after the independence, you're leading a side, a very unexperienced side. But even then, he played a really fantastic role. As you said that his domestic career was good because he played for the Indian Punjab as well, and later Indian North Punjab as well, and later on of course from the central Punjab like Lahore, and then his domestic career was really fantastic, more than 6,000 runs. And when you talk about an orthodox spinner and left arm spinner, when he's scoring more than 8 centuries, 32 50s, fantastic. And then there's the legacy of such kind of personalities, as you have taken some names.
And a legacy of left-handed batters. I can brag about that.
Yes,
So
you have taken some names.
One of the few things that you can. Just kidding.
So it's been an honor that we're discussing him, because of course that whenever we talk about the Pakistan cricket, it has started with the name of Abdul
Hafiz Kardar. Truly, and like I said, you need to honor your history and celebrate it as well. And it's very important because it's a dreadful moment when we see that our younger lot who want to play cricket or follow it would not probably know about the history of certain legends. So I think it's very important that time by time, even the Pakistan Cricket Board, different organizations, cricket clubs all around, everybody should actually, have probably a dedicated something towards these legends, so people actually know about this. And that's why I think a walk through the PCB Hall of Fame is very, very important for all of these youngsters, especially if they're part of any youth structure, under 19, under 16. They should be given that orientation to know their legends as well. On that note, we'll move our focus to the under 19 World Cup, where Pakistan women is facing England women today. And to our surprise, we've just been told that the third wicket has fallen of the English women's side, and Pakistan are on a roll. You can catch all the action live on PTV Sports HD. We'll keep on showing you the action as well. That's the card on your screen right now on the bottom half. We'll try to take it on full and give you the latest of updates. So 3 wickets so far have fallen, and like I said, they look to be in pretty control. So Saeed Haider, always a proud moment to see youngsters playing, but when it comes to a lot more focus for the first time I see on the youth structure for women's cricket, and the way they're performing is exceptional.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good sign for the Pakistan women's cricket that youth women's girls, they are coming forward and they are playing cricket and they are performing well. So it's a very good sign for the Pakistan cricket. But how they will exist more, this is the question, because in our system, the women's and girls, they cannot play more big cricket like the men's cricket, and they are always dependable from the families and our system, our society. But Pakistan Cricket Board should initiate something for the girls in the schools or colleges to provide some opportunities. We can get a better women's cricket team in future. They are coming forward and they are showing some talent, but we have to polish. We have to make sure that the talent will be secure in the future. This is very necessary. If the under 19 team is participating in the under 19 World Cup, then it's a big sign, very big news for the Pakistan, because I've never thought that at the youth level the girls can be immersed in Pakistan cricket. But now we are seeing a very another picture, and we are seeing a lot of girls, they are going to play. I have seen some time ago I cannot remember, in Karachi or Lahore, there were the trials, and hundreds of the girls, they were there and they were participating in the trials. So it's a very good sign for Pakistan women's cricket.
Definitely. I'll just try to take the match, or if we can request our team to give us the match on full screen, and we can just discuss this certain element right now in the game. There you go. 51 for 37.2 overs. Rizwan Haider, always a pleasure to see the younger lot, and like we said, in the women's structure, and they're performing tremendously so far. Won a warm-up game, one against Rwanda, look very confident, and this individual, Saeeda Shah, is a terrific leg spinner at this young age.
It's always a pleasure to have youngsters in, and it's a very, very positive sign that Pakistan under 19 team is playing in the under 19 World Cup. We've never seen that before, and that's the actual platform from where you can pick your raw talent and bring them into the Pakistan fold. Because in the Pakistan team, you can see there's a big gap between Pakistan, the performance of the Pakistani players, versus compared to England, India, Australia and New Zealand. It used to be England, Australia and New Zealand. Now India has come into that fold as well, where they've become one of the top 4 teams. And we're always a level behind because we haven't got the under-19 structure, and now that we're participating in it, and it's sad that we are participating in it, and so is Rwanda and all the other countries, and they've been participating in it from a couple of times ago.
Yes.
So for us, it's a beginning. We've got cricket at grassroots, but I would also suggest that in case you haven't got enough girls to have a start a league or something, then every city girls team should be playing in the club level with boys. That's the way to go.
Inclusion. I think that's been
Exactly.
that's been a very successful model in many countries.
It has been.
and all we need to do is replicate the structure. It's a good shot. But, yes. Yes, please.
We had in England, we had our in East Coast, we had a girls team, and then whenever they were short of girls, they used to have couple of them would play the first team or the second team. So and it gives them confidence, it encourages them, and it puts them at a different level. Facing fast bowlers who are guys bowling at 120, 130. It gives them confidence, and it makes them a better players.
Well, a tremendous evolution of women's cricket as well. I think if you look at teams like Australia, India, and England, even South Africa, you can't ignore the fact that they're any different, because the level of aggressive cricket being played, the pace, the shot selection is already matching them.
Short, fast bowlers. I mean, look at Elise Perry and a couple of others. They're bowling like, they're proper fast bowlers. The run-ups that they have, even batting-wise, their techniques are very, very formidable. You can tell that, they're confident. And that's what we lack in the Pakistani girls. Hopefully, with more, exposure, they'll get better.
Asif, your thoughts? It's interesting to see that there are numbers now that are pouring in to join women's cricket. And I think a lot of that credit goes to Pakistan Cricket Board. And I would also like to appreciate a particular franchise. Just recently, we saw a complete talent hunt program for girls, courtesy of Lahore Qalandars, that happened.
It's always Lahore Qalandars, isn't it?
It is. I think their PDP is talked about much, not in Pakistan, but that model, because I had a chance to visit them, and I saw international players from South Africa and many other countries who were part of that PDP because they thought it's a better structure. So Asif, it's got to be the responsibility for everyone to promote women's cricket in Pakistan.
Yes, and this time you should applaud the efforts of ICC that they brought this kind of World Cup for the youngsters under 19, because they understood that, if you talk about the top-notch players from the men's side, they came up through, under 19 level, and then they played even. There was an Asia Cup which was under 23. So in this age, if you're getting this kind of exposure, confidence, entire world is watching you, and you're just performing for your country, I think it's remarkable. And of course, when we talk about these kind of efforts, you've taken the name of Lahore Qalandars. I remain the part of Players Development Program. How important that was, how good that was, and a very, a clean and crystal system of the, selecting the players. All the selectors were pretty much involved with the players. So I must give the, credit to Lahore Qalandars. And now later on, when they're working with these young girls, to be very honest, that's it's a role model for the rest of the franchises as well, that if they are starting, so it will be helping for the Pakistan women cricket as well. Pakistan under 19, these young girls, we're just watching them, the way they are putting their energies, they're coming up and they're showing something extraordinary efforts in the fielding. It's been remarkable. And the way they played against Rwanda, in this game, they look really confident. And let's suppose if they're restricting somewhere 130, 140 to England, they would be in good position to chase down. It's not easy, I'm not saying, because they're playing first time on this level, but even then, so far they're so good with their batting, bowling, and especially fielding. So we all the positive thoughts are with these young girls.
Definitely, they should be. And on that note, we'll go towards a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss the action further. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Extra, and we were just discussing before the break the Under-19 World Cup, where Pakistan women is bowling against the English women's team. Action live on PTV Sports HD, uninterrupted. You can catch the action there. We'll keep on updating you as well. A couple of wickets have fallen. It's now about a recovery job for the English team, but they're still playing aggressive cricket, so they've not backed down on that, and we've still seen some quality shots by them down the ground, through the covers. So, you know, that element, that momentum has not stopped, and I think that is something that you need to learn from other teams around the world, that they don't bog down on that momentum, which is very, very important in modern day cricket. Saeed Haider, about the structure of women's cricket, it's always been in shambles. There's been nothing productive. We've got a national side now that is performing and participating at least, but it's very disappointing when we see the youth structures and then the focus. Primarily, we can say that we've not been focused enough on the youth structure of women's cricket. If we've not done that, then we shouldn't be complaining on the men's side as well. And on just that note, if I just tell you that some fielding efforts are being shown there as well, so that means, you know, that talent is still there.
Yeah, exactly. The structure is really is not good. What we are seeing in women's cricket, we need to do something. It is necessary. If you want to build up a good team, you need to do something on the grassroots level. If you cannot do it, then definitely you cannot get the players, because men's player, they are very different than women's player. When we are getting the men's player from the street cricket or the tap ball cricket or some such type of the cricket, but in women's cricket you cannot get. You need a very secure system for the women's cricket, because our society cannot afford such type of the system as the men's cricket have. We need to do something in a secure level, and we have to introduce the cricket on such level there. The girls or women, they are not they don't know really what is the cricket. If we want to build a good team, we need to do in the grassroots level, in the primary level, in the schools level, then we can get the players.
Well, school cricket has always been the first step, because, you know, you've got a certain structure that can be worked upon, and then, you know, the thought of clubs, as Rizwan mentioned as well, is something that can be worked upon. But what about the numbers, Rizwan? Did you think parents have, you know, probably seen that there's not been much stability, and then, you know, in our region there are dynamics of security, laws regarding harassment and everything in between, and then, of course, like I said, a proper structure for them to come from their schools or homes towards the grounds and then go back in proper facilities is something that would probably push parents forward.
I think the actual issue of harassment comes later on, when they have to go out of their houses and homes and leave homes, where there is security. PCB has female attendants as well in the clubs. But school is the basic area where we need to focus, and then we need to invest money in that. There is no sport which has a free pass and you don't invest money and you get results, other than, you know, natural talent, and that's only in individual games. Like javelin, we had Arshad Nadeem, yes. Arshad Nadeem. So that's an individual talent. It has nothing to do with Pakistan Sports Board. It was his own talent. He did hard work in his fields, in the fields. But for women's cricket, for a team game, you need to have infrastructure. You need to have places where they can play. You need to have grounds. We have shortage of grounds, but Haider Bhai was absolutely right that for men, for boys, it's very easy to play in the streets and get, you know, improve their bowling and batting, and in one ground you can have 8 teams playing together, but that's not possible for women. So for women, you need to invest in the infrastructure, in coaches, in academies. Academies is the place where, like Islamabad has 4 or 5 academies, Pindi and Islamabad, Lahore has 4, Karachi has numerous academies. Also, I think these franchise cricket need to have some sort of clause in the contract to have a corporate social responsibility to invest 5% or 6% of the money on women's cricket, and that is one of the way we can, you know, have a developing system and get more talent.
Well, Asif, it then again boils down to the focus that you have, and like you mentioned, we also discussed the PDP for one particular franchise, but then, you know, as Rizwan is mentioning, that you could bring all of them on board. That, you know, the PSL starts in February and ends in March. So you can say probably 2 months or 3 months if you want to take some pre-practice and post discussions as well. If you remove those 3, 8 months or, you know, probably 9 months are still there for the franchises to do something at grassroots levels. And you should bring them towards there, because obviously they're enjoying a particular share of the profits through Pakistan Cricket Board.
See, once again, then it comes towards their personal interest as well. Either they're taking this seriously or not. Of course, that Lahore Qalandars, they're taking this seriously. They do understand that when you're working on women cricket, girls cricket, it's really important. And I was in Lahore, and I have seen that academy, Abdul Qadir Academy, where girls and boys, they do practice together, and his son Salman Qadir is running that academy. We have watched in Rawalpindi as well several academies. They're working on the women cricket and the girls cricket as well. But once again, where are the schools? Why they're not taking initiative? See, if you guys are talking about the harassment, but there is a solution for that as well. You cannot leave this just that because of the harassments or because of the security, we are not promoting women cricket. It's not the solution. Come up with the solutions. If you guys are taking initiative, because you do understand that the girls on the initial level, class 6, class 7, if they're participating in cricket, if you guys are organizing, tournaments, inter-school tournament, first of all, so I think that it can bring some revolution, because hardly we can watch women cricket in schools. Even we cannot watch, boys cricket in schools. So how could they could promote the women cricket? So I think that if you are not taking personal interest, it won't work. And then rest PCB is working on that. Once again, why I'm saying that the ICC have taken a brilliant initiative, and it's a best idea that you guys came up with an idea of under 19 women, females under 19 World Cup, and then you'll be taking some a talent from there. So I think the individual effort must be there, the interest must be there, and intent.
Definitely.
The intent is really important, that if you are promoting, you'd have to think out of the box. You don't think like, in earlier in Pakistan, even parents, they were not supporting their daughters. Now, yes, they are supporting their daughters. We all together, and if we'll work on the same page, I think we'll be getting good results.
Definitely. It needs to be a collective effort,
Yeah.
as we've just mentioned. But let's take you once again to live action on PTV Sports HD. And then, of course, we move on to some more things that we discuss. 77 for 3, 11.4 overs have been bowled. The run rate is now cruising. They've increased it to 6.5 almost. And, we've just saw a couple of reverse sweeps in there as well. So the talent is certainly across boundaries. And I think it's interesting to see England have always been a dominant force in women's cricket, and the short selection that we're seeing, we just saw 2 reverse sweeps and now towards mid-wicket with a dot ball. So, so far so good, but like I said, it's anybody's game. Whoever keeps their head in the game are probably going to end up winning this one. It's a very important game for the group as well. You can catch all the action on PTV Sports HD live, and we'll keep updating you with the scores as well. Now we move on to the big trivia in Pakistan cricket. At the moment, everybody's got their heads down and they're trying to figure out what's going to happen. It's the hunt for Pakistan's next head coach, and nobody knows who's it going to be, because of certain people that were being discussed through social media, and social media is a big driving force in Pakistan, have already refused. So Syed Haider, what's the news regarding Pakistan's next coach? Tom Moody's already out of the race. Mr. Flower has refused, citing concerns that he's already enjoying franchise cricket. Nothing is confirmed with Justin Langer right now. Mickey Arthur has already said that he's not interested. Where are we going with this one?
Yeah, exactly. The cricket has been changed today. Today, most of the coaches, do you know why they are not interested to do permanent basis any team coaching? Because they are getting more better, attractive package from the T20 leagues. They are earning in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to $30,000-$40,000. So why they will come to earn only $2,000-$3,000 per month for a team where the team is always has interference from the government. The board has interference from the government, and their agreement can be eliminated any time. So therefore, they don't have interest. Pakistan is looking a foreign coach. It's good. It's a good sign for the Pakistan if a foreign coach. But we should not insist for a foreign coach. We need someone. Either a Pakistan coach or a foreign coach. He should be well, he should be good in coaching, and he should communicate with the Pakistan team well, because at this level you cannot make a player. You can manage only. You can provide some technical assistance to the players. Otherwise, you're not in a position to make a player. So Pakistan should not go for anyhow for a foreign coach. I think Pakistan can concentrate any Pakistan coach also, but in the past we have seen some problems with the Pakistan coach that the players they were not so coach were they're not strict with the players, and the players they were not they have some lack of discipline with the Pakistan coach. Therefore, PCB has decided to get a foreign coach. But as we are seeing, there is nobody he's attracting to the Pakistan coaching assignment. Pakistan has tried Tom Moody or Justice Langer or any other player, ex-player, but it's still a trivia, big trivia. You have said correctly that it's a big trivia. Who will be the Pakistan coach in the future?
Yeah, it's almost like a season, a soap probably going on. Who's going to be Pakistan's next head coach? But Rizwan, what would you like to add? I think one of the particular points that you also mentioned before the show and during the break is that the fact is that they also see financial incentives and then the time they need to invest in as well.
I mean, coaching has to be a long-term thing. You can't do coaching in 5 days, 10 days. I've been against hiring Matthew Hayden for short-term one World Cup, 30 days or 35 days. That's just not on. I agree with Heather Bhai. Regardless of nationality, you have to identify your targets from 1 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 and then go with them. You don't need to necessarily beg for an international coach. If he's on your list and he says no, fine, you go for the next one, third one. And then even if the fourth one is Pakistani or fifth one is Pakistani and he agrees, then you go with it. The problem is the financial issues are there. It has to be long term. The way things are going financially, hopefully they'll get better. But I mean, I personally think Mohsin Khan was one person who led Pakistan to test number 1 in the long term. Then there is so many other possibilities. Muhammad Akram is another one who's been doing pretty good
But
work.
why
with
the saga of this foreign coach? What
I
brings
think
you to
I
this?
think the good thing about foreign coaches is because of the language barriers, they don't get under the influence of no, it's a fact that they will do their own thing because they're being paid that much money. They know they have to get the results, and for that they're very, very strict into not getting players who are being who somebody needs to oblige. With national coaches, that becomes an issue. Similarly, with national coaches, with local coaches, the other issue is because of the lack of language barrier, the boys who are not really that educated, it's very, very difficult to control them. With the foreign coach, with the Gora element, they get scared. It's a fact. It's a fact. So they get scared and it's easier for them to control. But I think you should go for the best possible coach, identify your targets from 1 to 10 and then start getting number 1, number 2, number 3 and start ticking off. He's not interested. It's not that they should be telling us that we're not interested in coaching. We should be telling them we're not interested in you. We're not interested in you.
But the fact is that where we were interested, they're not interested. So the interest element is there. But do you have a cricket clone for Arteta at the moment, maybe?
I would love to.
That brings a cheeky smile. I was waiting for this smile throughout the week. I really wanted to see Rizwan's face when I mentioned this. I think they've waited long enough.
Long time for Arsenal to be top of the table. For the last 4 months, we're top of the table since October.
We're facing you on Sunday, though. It's going to be an interesting game.
Hopefully, it's going to be 3-0 to Arsenal versus Manchester.
But it's interesting because and that language thing. It's very interesting that a couple of days ago we saw a tweet, and as soon as I opened my Twitter, I see this tweet from Shahnawaz Dhani just tweeted,
exactly.
"You will be missed, Sean Tate," and I was gobsmacked. That maybe
he died or
something has happened.
And yesterday I asked Oves that has he died? What happened to Dhani? I didn't ask him is he died. I said what happened to him? And he goes, no, he just left Pakistan. For God's sake, yeah.
Well, Asif, 2 lines to follow now. One is that you stick with your domestic approach, somebody who understands the dynamics of Pakistan cricket. Some very pertinent names mentioned. One of the, I think, most favored ones at the moment is Muhammad Akram because of his experience and exposure. And there are many other names as well. Many of them have already refused. Even if they were not approached, they've made it clear that we're not interested. So, I understand where they're coming from. They see lack of stability in the PCB or whatever. But right now, even our hunt for foreign coaches, and what bothers me the most is that we've got a World Cup this year.
And this is the prior approach of Pakistan Cricket Board as well. Let me give you an example because, I was the part of domestic circuit and I was commentating there in the Qaeda Azam Trophies match what I have observed concerning foreign coaches, Neil Johnson, former Test cricketer from Zimbabwe, he was working with Sindh, and a player, Umar bin Yusuf, he got out a couple of times, caught and bowled. So I watched during the lunch breaks. Neil Johnson was doing drills with Umar bin Yusuf and was telling him each and everything. The language barrier is there. Even then, I think that was it was much appreciated that during the lunch break, a coach is working with the guy who's suffering with the special trouble with the cotton ball.
Technically, yeah.
Technically. See, the second thing is that Pakistan Cricket Board, what they are thinking actually. The previous regime, clearly they hired, many times foreigner coaches for the specific tournaments, like for the World Cup. They hired Matthew Hayden as a power hitter or the batting coach. And later on, this regime, Najam Sethi said clearly that we want a foreigner coach. Why? Because in the previous his previous session, Mickey Arthur was working with Pakistan team, and Pakistan team was happy with him. And if we guys talk about the results, as Rizwan said that the Mohsin Khan was good, that Pakistan was on #1 in the Test ranking.
Mohsin Saab was excellent.
Yeah.
I know that tenure, and I even had a chance to share a specific series with him. A couple of matches we did together for our sister channel PTV Sports. I spent a lot of time with Mohsin Saab, and his vision towards the team was something that, Asif, you've been telling us that at a level of Pakistan cricket team seniors, you can just tell them how to reform themselves. You cannot work on them technically. They need to be strong here, and that's what Mohsin Saab was doing.
Yeah, that's right. And you know that when you guys are taking names like Mohsin Khan, Mohammad Akram, Azhar Mahmood, couple of the names they have refused. Even either PCB have contacted with them or not, it's not a question. But see, let's talk about the foreigner coaches, why they're denying, why they're not coming for Pakistan, Andy Flower, a big name, he remained with the Pakistan cricket team as well. He understands the mindset of Pakistan cricket. So what he is saying that, actually, I'm pretty much busy in franchise cricket. What does it mean that he's earning a lot? Once again, that the financial issues, the financial interest. The second thing, he said that if you are asking me, because, a journalist asked a question about the captaincy as well, that either you are happy with the Babar Azam or not. He clearly said that, see, he's a top-notch batter from around the world. If you take 3-4 names, he is number 3 or number 4 right now.
In that list, yes.
Yeah, and all the formats he's playing and performing well, especially T20 and then the Test cricket as well. What he is saying actually, he's saying that I am busy in franchise cricket. Why Pakistani players are not, why Pakistan Cricket Board is not going with the local coaches? To be very honest, that what do I understand? If you take the name Mohammad Akram, he's not interested because he's working with Peshawar Zalmi for a long time, and he never showing his interest for the Pakistan cricket. Second thing, the Pakistan team, when they become hero, when they become star, it's pretty much difficult to handle them. Honestly, this is my honest opinion.
I know where you're coming from, but
I just want to add
Yes,
one thing.
yes,
You
yes.
need to
I
make
haven't
good
completed
wickets.
anyways, guys.
We're out of time. We're out of time.
In the last year, we've made such bad test match wickets that why would foreign coaches be interested in going for a draw? If your mentality is to not lose instead of winning, then you're not going to get
now let me continue.
Sir William is in my ear. You need to wrap it up very
All right,
quickly.
okay, go ahead. Okay, fine.
Well, Heather bhai, thank you very much for being on the show. Rizwan and Asif, thank you very much. I think we need a complete discussion on this. The next time we always come up with our top playing 11s. I think the next time we come up, I'm going to have them pick 5 options for coaches, 3 on the local front and 2 on the international front. But that will be the case. The quest continues for Pakistan's head coach, but I think it's going to be an interesting one because the World Cup is around the corner and we really need to muscle up the courage to pick one name because that has got to be the priority, and PCB truly is working towards there as well. That wraps up the show. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.